Okay, so for my YouTube people, I have to apologize. Forgot to hit record, but we're going to look at time conversions, which we did in Math 1700. And I've already started with an example below using this information above. This information is not given on your test. So you guys are expected to know that there's 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, and 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, for example. Okay, so sorry about this for my YouTube people, but I think I have most students here anyways. I did the first conversion 10 days into 24 hours, making sure my days canceled and I was left with hours. So now I'm going to show another example that is a little more, it's going to look crazy, but it's not a very hard method. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my seconds. Okay, and I'm going to go piece by piece to get to weeks. I'm going to go to minutes. I'm going to go to hours, days, then weeks. And this is obviously not a very realistic example. This is just for practice. So let's go to minutes first. So I know that there's 1 minute in 60 seconds. And the reason I put seconds on the bottom is because I want the unit to cancel. Now, I also know that in 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. So my minutes cancel. So now I'm in hours. Okay. I also know that in 1 day, there's 24 hours. Okay, so I'm there. I'm in. Actually, more realistically, we would probably stop here, knowing that we have found the days. But let's go to weeks. I know that in 1 week, there is 7 days. So days cancel. So this looks pretty intense, but basically I'm following this guide here. I'm taking that number, I'm at seconds, and I'm dividing it by 60, dividing it by 60, dividing it by 24, and then dividing it by 7. You can memorize this chart if you want, but I'm more of a dimensional analysis kind of guy. Now, I have no idea what the answer is, so let's see what we get. My dream is that this will be a nice number. Nope, not well, the answer I get on my calculator is 0.25876 weeks. So I could just say 0.26 weeks. You don't have to worry about fractions or anything like that. And this isn't chemistry or physics. I don't care about significant figures. The hint I'll give you guys is, if the number has decimal places, just give me, 2 or 3 decimal places. I'll be happy with that. You could round this to 0.3 if you wanted, but 2 or 3 decimals and I'm a happy man. And I would like to see any units. Units are very important. Think of a pharmacy. The difference between a gram and a milligram could literally kill a human in terms of medication, right? And I know that sounds dark, but it is really true. If the medication is 1 milligram and you give them 1 gram, well, you're giving them 1,000 times more than medication. So keep your units and keep a couple decimal places. But don't worry, again, this isn't chemistry. I'm not going to go too crazy with sig figs, but I got to see those units. Again, taking a pill for a day is a lot different than taking a pill for a week. So keep your units, please. All right. I did go a little quick through that for 2 reasons. It is pretty straightforward in terms of, you guys should know time, 60 seconds in a minute. And the other thing is you did that in Math 1700, which I'm not sure if you remember, but anyways, there it is. Before I move on to section 1.4, does anybody have any questions about time? All right. All good, all good. Excellent. You guys are a smart bunch. And again, oh man, I cannot thank you two students who told me to record. Guys, if you ever catch me not recording, let me know because I do not want to do what I did last night again. All right. I don't know why this is called practice. Well, I guess it's the fourth practice problem in chapter 1. Maybe that's why. But we're going to look at word problems, pharmacy word problems. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. Um, from my experience in science, from my experience in math, I've taught 1700 business math. I can't remember the numbers of those. But business math especially has a lot of word problems, and these can be challenging, sometimes because of English as a second language, a foreign language. uh, you guys can speak more languages than I can. I know English and a tiny bit of French. I've been here 8 years. I barely know any Arabic, so it's very hard, knowing multiple languages. And for a word problem like this, you need to read the problem carefully. I do promise you that I'll try to keep the word problems as, I don't want to say simple, but I'll try to use a language that is easy to read. Um, this problem is a good example of this. There's no extra information. There's nothing too confusing about this. Maybe the part of units of activity, but that would be a pharmacy term anyways. So let me read the first problem. Um, in this problem, I'm going to outline some information and then we'll get started with the answer. So an antibiotic provides 25,000 units of activity. Now, that's not a term that I use very much in science, but in the pharmacy world, a unit of activity is the chemical in it that it acts as the antibiotic. So, most of, or a lot of a pill, or much of a pill would be filler, chemicals or ingredients that turn it into the pill format. And then inside that pill, there are molecules that act as in this example, an antibiotic or, the medicine. So this antibiotic in each pill, this is a tablet. So a tablet is another word for pill. I think maybe the British use tablet, but in Canada we say pill. So if you ever hear me say pill, I'm speaking of tablets. And by tablet, I don't mean like an iPad. I mean, like a little tiny white pill. An antibiotic provides 25,000 units of activity in each 250 milligram tablet. So there's a lot of information in this one sentence. The first thing I notice in this sentence is that in one tablet, which I guess I could just say tab, there are 25,000 units. I'm writing that as a fraction. You don't need to write that as a fraction, but the idea is this is my conversion factor. Actually, here, let me write it like this. This is how I would typically write it. And this means we can turn this into a fraction to do this question. I also know that in one tablet, well, I shouldn't say in one tablet, but one tablet is equivalent to 250 milligrams. Okay. So the question is, how many units would a patient receive if they took 4 tablets a day for 10 days? So it's not asking about milligrams, so I don't actually need that number. So there's a couple things I need to consider. How many tablets are they going to take in 10 days? And then how many units are in those tablets? So I'm going to use unit conversion here. I know that I'm starting with 10 days. And the first thing I want to do is figure out how many tablets they're taking. Well, I know that they're taking 4 tablets every day. So my days cancel. Now, And like just put math away for a minute. Like don't even think about this much harder than it needs to be. If the doctor said to you for 10 days, I want you to take 4 tablets a day, how many tablets, how many pills would you eat? Well, 10 days, 4 a day, that's 40. Very easy. Sometimes you need to step away from the math and just think about this logically. 4 pills a day, 10 days, 40 pills. Easy. You know, if you ate 4 apples a day for 10 days, you're eating 40 apples. No problem. The next part of this, though, is the question wants me to figure out, well, how many units of activity would that person consume? Well, I know for every 1 tablet, they are consuming 25,000 units. So I'm done. I have my answer. All of my units have canceled properly. So 10 times 4 times 25,000. I'm getting 1,000,000 units of activity. I think, yes. 1,000,000,000. Sometimes with big numbers, people put commas in there. 1,000,000 units. Okay, how do you guys feel about that? I'm going to just show you another one, but does anybody have any questions about that practice problem? All right, I think you guys are good. Just remember to, if there's anything in this course or anything that I've taught so far that's just challenging, you're not sure about the answer, just let me know. You can meet me in my office hours. You can send me an email. I'm not going anywhere. So if you guys ever want to meet in the night, after I mentioned this to the other class, a lot of you guys are probably tired and hungry. If you want to maybe meet me after iftar, even like 9 at night, I stay up pretty late. I might not meet you on a Thursday night. I typically relax on Thursdays, but if you guys ever want to meet for a little one-on-one, let me know, because this course does get a little more complicated after this. We're going to start Unit 2 on Sunday. This is the end of Unit 1. So it'll kind of get a little bit more challenging. Okay, so how about I do questions 2 and 3, and then maybe I'll get you guys to do some practice. We'll check your answers, and then halas, that'll be it for today. I might show you what Unit 2 is about, but that'll be it. So let me do another 2 questions. I'll get you guys to practice a couple of questions, and then that's it. So number 2. Let me check the chat first. Oh, good question, Abdullah. No. So Abdullah asks if you have a quiz soon. No. You don't. There's a difference between the word, in my mind, quiz and test. You guys only have 2 tests. So there will be a test probably not anytime soon, but there will be a test coming up. But there will be an assignment next week. I'll probably have the assignment posted on Sunday. So to answer Abdullah's question, no, there's no quiz soon, but there will be an assignment on chapter 1 on Sunday. Okay, and I'll give you some time to work on the assignment. Don't worry. I won't say that you have one day. I'll give you a couple days to do that assignment. It'll be very, very short. All right. Good question, by the way. I promise I'll keep you guys updated on assignments and tests. There'll be about 4 assignments and there will be 2 tests. And then, of course, the scary part, your final exam in June. But we'll talk about your final later. Okay, sorry, guys. Just 1 second. I got a private message here. Okay. Yes, that's fine, to the student who just wrote me the private message. And I'll mention this to the entire class. If you guys, some of you are getting the vaccine, some of you are tired, some of you might not be feeling well. If at any time you guys have to leave the class, that is fine. the Zoom will record that you attended. I don't look at the time. So it doesn't matter if you show up late or you leave early, I will mark you as attended. Just, make sure, like this student said, make sure that you watch the YouTube video later. So to this student, I won't mention your name, but have a great day. I hope you feel better. And this goes for every student. If you have to leave, if you show up 30 minutes late, it doesn't matter. I will mark you as attended. This is a tough time between vaccines, COVID, Ramadan, people aren't feeling well. So just relax, watch the YouTube video. Everybody's good. You're welcome to that student. And one more question, and then I promise I'm going to get to question number 2 here. Abdullah asked in the chat, how much is the assignment worth? That's a good question because there are 4 assignments. Each assignment is worth 5%. So they're worth a lot more than you might think. In the past, some assignments might only be worth 1 or 2%. Your assignments will be worth 5%, which is, it's good. It means the assignment is worth your time to do. So I hope that answers your question. 4 assignments at 5%. Then you have 2 tests, they're 20% each. And then you have your final exam worth 40%. So that's this course. No labs, not like chemistry or anything like that. All right, cool. So let's do number 2. How many 250 milligram tablets or capsules of ibuprofen, I just took some ibuprofen actually an hour ago, can be made from 0.36 kilograms of ibuprofen? This is this is a good question, an interesting question. So first of all, you guys are pharmacy students, you probably know the difference, but a tablet or a pill would typically be like those white things that you take, like a Panadol. A capsule to me would be like the gel filled. They have like kind of a casing. They don't need to actually have gel in them, but a capsule would kind of have that almost plastic-like casing. And then inside the casing or the shell is the medicine. So if you're wondering, you guys probably know more about this than I do. But yeah, I like the capsule type of medication. And I just had some ibuprofen. I'm still a little bit sore from the vaccine, but I do feel mentally and physically, I feel great. My left arm, not so much. So a couple things here that we need to consider. First of all, I know that 1 capsule is 225 milligrams. Okay, you don't need to write this stuff down, by the way. And the other thing I know, actually, this is really important, is you need to be able to convert from kilograms to milligrams. And there's actually 2 ways to do this. I'm going to show you 2 ways, but I might erase them and kind of stick with one. But I know that in 1 kilogram, it's 10 to the 6 milligrams. Now that's kind of using my number line that I shared you before. Now, how can I do this? Let me show you the number line and show you how I got this number, 10 to the 6. Where did that come from? So let me go to your D2L. One thing I love about this course is I have time to actually show you these things. I'm doing Math 1700 and I have no time. So if you guys can see my screen right now, where did the 10 to the 6 come from? Well, what I'm doing is I'm going from milli. Oops, let me turn my pen on. To kilo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going 6 spaces to the left. So I'm multiplying it by 10 6 times. Each one of these is 10. That's the beauty of the metric system. So why did I multiply it by 10 to the 6? Well, I'm making it bigger. I'm turning it into kilograms. Or, oh, sorry, I'm not saying I'm multiplying my number. Why did I write 10 to the 6? Sorry. It's because milli to kilo is a difference of 10 6 times. Okay, so back to my notes. That's where this comes from. The other way to do this, you could do this in two parts. This is kind of how I would do this. If I didn't have that number line, I know that in 1 kilogram, there's 1,000 grams. And I know that in 1 gram, there's 1,000 milligrams, which again is 10 to the 6. So you can use whatever you want, guys. You can use the number line. I don't care. Whatever you guys want to use, you can use. So to answer the question, 0.36 kilograms. Again, I could multiply this by 1,000 grams over 1 kilogram. Then I could multiply this by 1,000 milligrams over 1 gram. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it simple. Well, keep it small. I'm just going to multiply this by 10 to the 6 milligrams over 1 kilogram. Again, you guys can use the number line and move the decimal if you want to, right? Whatever you're comfortable with. The next thing I'm going to write down is that I know I have in 1 capsule 225 milligrams, which will then cancel. And my answer for this will end up being 160 capsules. Okay, so you can do this on your calculators. 0.36 times 10 to the 6. Again, you could just move the decimal. Oh, sorry, when I say move the decimal, you're actually moving it this way. And then dividing it by 225. Okay, whatever you guys want to do to get kilograms into milligrams is fine by me. No problem. Okay, good question in the chat there. Oh, how am I going to answer this one? Let me read your question and get my head wrapped around it. My brain a little fuzzy. So the question is, when we are converting from small to big, don't we divide? Yeah, okay, yes, you're right. And what we're actually converting from here is big to small. Now, again, don't worry about the number. Think about the unit. Think about 1 kilogram versus 1 milligram. We're going from 1 kilogram, a big unit, into milligrams, a much smaller unit. So we will multiply. So Asma, you're correct. Again, if you guys can't see the chat, the chat message says, when we convert from a small unit to a big unit, don't we divide? Yes. In this example, we're going from a big unit, kilogram, turning it into a smaller unit, a milligram. So we're multiplying. Yeah. Oh, and yes, somebody in the chat just helped me. You guys are saving my life today. You can tell I'm not 100% here yet. I said I was, but it's decimal 036, but the answer is still 160. I just wrote it down incorrectly. So yeah, we're going from a big unit to a smaller unit. We're multiplying. And again, if you guys would rather move the decimal, you're more than welcome to. All right, now that I've confused everybody, let's go to another. Let's try number 3. Then I'm going to get you guys to practice a couple, and then halas, we're finished. Okay, this is a funny one. This one always makes me think of my dad. Or this question makes me think of my dad. I'll tell you why in a second, but let me read it. 1 capsule, so a capsule contains 1.2 milliliters of fish oil. And the question is, how many liters of fish oil would be needed to make 35,000 capsules? This is a pretty interesting question. So every morning when I was a young kid, I guess so, between, let's say, 5 to, maybe when I was a teenager or like 12, 13, Um, I basically ate cereal for breakfast. My parents both worked. We didn't have a lot of, or they didn't have a lot of time in the morning. Plus, I am very notorious for sleeping in. As a kid, I like to stay up late and I like to sleep in, and I still do. So, long story short, my parents would give me cereal for breakfast, and every morning on my cereal spoon, there would be this little capsule. It was kind of like a golden colored capsule, and in it was one of the nastiest tasting things you could ever taste. Now, because it was in a capsule, you didn't really taste it, but inside of it was cod liver oil. So where I'm from, there used to be, well, there still is a very large supply of codfish. Very delicious fish. It's a white fish similar to hamor, but it would be a cold water North Atlantic fish. So it tastes and texturally a little different than hamor, but it's a white fish. And cod liver oil was a great source for, I guess, omega-3 fatty acids, which is kind of like I wouldn't say a vitamin, but a really good food. It's not like a medicine, but it's very good for your health. And old fishermen back in the day used to eat this to keep healthy, and it turned into a medicine. So every morning, my dad would give me a little capsule of fish oil, which, if you ever made the mistake of biting, you would taste the nastiest thing. But, anyways, makes me think of the old man. He's still around. So let's do this question. First things first, let's make some notes here. I know that one capsule of this medicine would have 1.2 milliliters of this oil. Um, well, I mean, that's it. And the other thing, I know that there's 10 to the 3 milliliters in 1 liter. And really what I'm saying here, guys, and anybody in chemistry would know this, there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter. In math, we typically write it like 10 to the 3. You can use 1,000, you can use exponents, or you can use your number line, whatever you want. So what I'm trying to do is figure out how many liters do I need to make 35,000 capsules. So first things first, I'm going to see how, convert the number of capsules to milliliters. There's 1.2 milliliters per capsule. Okay, right. Like, think about this. And this kind of sounds confusing. I'm trying to turn the word capsule into liters. And you might be thinking, how would you, there's no way you could convert the word or the unit capsule into liters, but I have this. This is my key. I know that I can convert one capsule to milliliters. Once I know how many milliliters I have, I can easily, change this to liters. Again, guys, I'm just saying 1,000 milliliters. You can convert any way you want. And the answer is 42 liters. That's a lot of fish oil. I don't know how they get the oil from the liver. I don't think I want to know. Probably involves a lot of smashing and grinding and then filtering. But if you've ever had the chance, I think they sell it at like Boots or Collude pharmacies, little capsules of fish oil. It's a good source of omega-3 fatty acid. And I don't know what that does for you. I know it's good for animals' fur. So maybe it will make your hair silky and shiny. I don't know. But anyways, there you go. All right. So guys, it's 11:30. We're almost done. I'm going to give you guys a minute to try a few of these. Just remember, your answers are in the notes. So you guys can check out, if you want to try some of these, you can check out the answers. I uploaded them to YouTube not YouTube, to D2L the other day. How about you guys just take 5 minutes to try these 2 questions, and then halas, we're finished for this week. We've made it through 1 week. So I'm going to put myself on mute. I will be back in 5 minutes to check your answers to number 4 And number 5, please try to not look at the answers on D2L. Try to do these on your own. I won't call it cheating, but try to not look at the answers. Try this on your own. All right, I'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, let's go. Let's check these out, and then you guys are free. Well, what I might do, or what I will do, is I will do these very quickly, tell you what chapter 2 is about, or unit 2, and then that's it. So we'll be done in a few minutes. Thank you, Kalsum, for your answer. Asma, Serena, Reem, the Lorena, or sorry, Lola. I think so. Yeah, Lola, sorry. Thank you, everybody. Abdullah, great. Thank you so much. Let's check it out. I know most of you got the answer, but I'm just going to write this down for the students who maybe didn't, or might still be having some problems. And you know, don't feel bad if you can't get this yet. Just make sure you do some practice. Try some of these other questions. So very quickly, in number 4, a certain tablet, a mystery tablet, contains 32.5 milligrams of phenobarbital. Don't know what that is, but I know barbital is what they use at the salons to disinfect the equipment. So 1 tablet is 32.5 milligrams. Sorry. Oh, there's a fly torturing me here. Go away. How many grams of phenobarbital are in 24 tablets? So I know that in one, how am I going to write this? I mean, there's a few ways to write this. So, well, I know that there's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. You could also say that in there's 10 to the -3 grams in 1 milligram. It's you know, whatever is comfortable with you, or whatever makes you comfortable. You can use the unit conversion line to move the decimal. I mean, I want you guys to be comfortable with these unit conversions. So let's do this. So I'm looking at 24 tablets. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert that to milligrams. So 32.5 milligrams in 1 tablet. That's the big step, right? Once you've converted this to milligrams, it's actually pretty easy because I know that in 1 gram, there's 1,000 milligrams, and I'll get my answer 0.78 grams. Excellent. What about number 5? 1 sodium bicarbonate tablet. So that's baking soda. This is, I've never seen a sodium bicarbonate tablet. I've been told you shouldn't eat it. It's not, well, it's not going to kill you, but they recommend for like heartburn to try something a bit more, I don't know, a bit better, like Rennie. Anyways, sodium bicarbonate, baking soda will fix acid burn if you got a burning feeling in your stomach, but I'd probably take a Rennie. Anyways, 1 tablet is, I'm just going to write the word tab, is equal to 300 milligrams. And the question is, how many tablets do we need to get 1,500 milligrams of sodium bicarbonate? This one's actually pretty easy. This one's really easy. This is a good one. This would be a nice, easy test question, you know, 1 calculation. I have 1,500 milligrams of this chemical, sodium bicarbonate. I know that 1 tablet is worth 300 milligrams. You could almost do this without thinking mathematically, right? 1,500 milligrams, each tablet is 300. How many tablets do you take? Well, 1,500 divided by 3 is 5 tablets. Woo! All right, we are done. I am not done. I have office hours, then I have a meeting, then I have another class at 3:30. So not my favorite day, Thursday, but you're done with me for today. Before I move, or before I show you chapter 2, and I'm not going to teach anything. I'm just going to give you a heads up of what we're doing this week. Sorry, next week. Does anybody have any questions on this stuff? Right, I've definitely practiced these. There's 14 questions total that you could practice. Some of them are harder than others. I highly recommend practicing this. And if you have any questions, let me know. No questions from Kalsum. So let's check out chapter 2. Content. So 2 things. Just a little reminder, if you guys ever want to check your answers, they're here. So the notes are here, the answers are here. There's practice and review here. All right, sample everything. I think Abdullah asked earlier, are there quizzes? This is test. So like there is a sample. Well, no, it's not a test because your test will be on chapters 1 and 2. So yeah, I guess this is a quiz. Your first test will include units or chapters 1 and 2. So there's a unit 1 sample quiz, which includes questions from chapter 1 or unit 1. There will also be a unit 2 sample quiz, which you can see here. Let me clear my drawings. Unit 2 handout answers are here. Let me move that up. Let's organize this. Let's put the quiz on the bottom. Let's put my Unit 2 solutions up top. There we go. All right, let's check out your lecture notes. See what you guys are going to do with me next week. So lecture 2 or chapter 2, unit 2, whatever you want to call it. We're going to look at, well, something you probably did in 1700. We're going to look a little bit more about ratios and proportions and then apply it to pharmaceutical situations. A ratio or proportion is basically like a fraction. Now you'll notice this section is a little bit bigger. There's, excuse me, 37 pages. Still nothing like Math 1700, but we're going to look at these ratios, fractions, and apply them to, say, doses of drugs, so or pharmaceuticals. All right, I won't say anything else about that. We'll start that on Sunday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you're safe. You wash your hands, you wear a mask. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much.